Árnason. Valbert skorar. Valbert Gunnarsson hefur skorað. Ragnar Bergjesson skorar mark. Glæsilega. Óskar Rafn á móti Bjarna. Og Bjarni með góða sendingu fyrir og Haraldur Ingólfsson.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the best pod ever.
Ever.
Oh my God, there's an echo. It's been a while, and to celebrate that while, we're joined not only by
Big
but also by
Jamie.
Oh my God, it's a veritable smorgasbord of hosts today. Which is good because we have a lot to talk about. I guess it's been.
I think it was the end of June, wasn't it? So yeah, 22
well, let's
minus
do them
14.
all in order. Let's do every game. Let's do every tackle, every card, every bad decision. If we did every bad decision, that's like what, 14 decisions per game. We're talking 8 rounds. We're talking a lot of decisions. How about we just, since it's the end of the regular season, the split has happened, we can go over the split. We can talk about the sort of season, how it's played out so far, the highs, the lows, the expectations, the expectations, and maybe we can touch on round 22 if we feel like that. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Great.
So, boys and girls, the split. Let's discuss the split. Let me read out for you the table. The best of Dale table, brought to you by fucking Lexus Extra Time something. So currently after 22 games, we have in first place Víkingur on 42 points, followed by Valur and Stjarnan both on 40. Breiðablik in fourth place, 34, and then FH and Fram on 30 and 29. This is the top half. Then the bottom half, the relegation zone, the Wendy's relegation zone is, God, IPVF and Kawa on 29 points. So missing out on goal difference, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah,
Or not.
I think so.
Then Vestri on 27, Kawa 24, Ia on 22, and Afturrelding last on 21 points. Any surprises?
Probably FO being in the top, I don't think anyone really, I don't know, it's not like an insane surprise, but I think a lot of people were predicting them to be lower half, even relegation battles, right?
Yeah, it's a good recovery from where they started the season.
And IPVF losing out on goal difference, I think most people had them, I think people thought they would be bottom of the league at this point, but they almost made it top half. And Kauer obviously is Kauer.
What did we predict Kauer at the start of the season? I don't think we made any official predictions, but I'm trying to gauge the sort of vibe retroactively. I think we were cautiously optimistic because they did a sort of Nottingham Forest from a few seasons ago and just got an entirely new squad.
I think that was the vibe all around. I remember seeing the Football Depuncted predictions, and they had them sort of top 3, top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because didn't we win or lose in the final of the League Cup or something like that? We did pretty well in the preseason, at least. I remember we were, it wasn't this in the preseason.
Peak too soon.
Yeah. I mean, Kauer are no longer like leading the pack in goals scored. That used to be a thing, right? Last we talked, I'm pretty sure they had like more goals than anyone, and it also shipped by far the most goals. Great update there. No longer most goals scored, but most goals against. So that's good.
Yeah, not helped by this round, I guess.
No, God. I watched that game. So if we just want to, spoiler alert, Kauer 0, Víkingur 7. Jesus Christ. like the concept of a defense was missing.
But I
from
mean,
Cowher.
that's not really anything new, is it?
No, it's not new, but it was just so egregious this time around. It was ridiculous. Like they could have put me alone out there in defense, and it would have gone roughly the same.
Yeah, I mean they had a new system, or kind of a new system, right? They had 3 at the back, 2 ahead of them, and then like wing backs who are definitely not wing backs in Minkovic and Galter, right? They were technically wing backs in the loosest sense of the word.
Good system.
Yeah.
But this is what I don't understand is a couple of games prior to this, there's been some half decent results, like drawing with Breiðablik and getting points there. So why change the system now? Again.
I mean, there were injuries as well, right? Like Eiður is out, the main goal scoring threat, third top goal scorer in the league still on goal difference. We had some other, there's some other injuries. So I don't know if that's the Michael Atoko, right? Is his name? I guess he was meant to be the fullback. He's looked okay as fullback. Maybe when he fell out, he didn't feel he had enough people to play in defense. I don't know. He just decided to go all out attack. I don't know.
I mean, he had to make up for the goals somehow, I guess, with Eiður out, right? Because he's been out for a little bit now. The goals clearly have just dried up. I mean, I was there at the game against Vestri as well in Ísafjörður. There was just no real attacking threat from Cowher. In their defense, they weren't like... It looked dangerous at the back, though. I was going to say, they weren't tripping goals left and right, but like it wasn't looking solid. I guess they just didn't get punished this hard. But I mean, I don't know, man. This seems to just be the ethos there. It's like, all right, guys, let's go out and try to score so many goals because we're going to concede loads.
Well, that's the thing. This has been coming, I think, all season. A result of like this magnitude, like the amount of chances being given up every game consistently over 22 rounds. I'm surprised it took until the last game of the regular season for this to happen.
Yeah, it's also this high line. That's I think the biggest thing I don't really understand is this high line, because it makes sense if you have really fast defenders who can recover every time, and if we had linesmen who knew exactly what they were doing. And like, I mean, I'm not a fan of VAR. I don't want VAR to be implemented, but like if you had VAR, maybe like you had this thing with Barcelona last season, or last season, where they were catching Mbappe on his elbow or whatever. Like these tiny little margins where you can kind of make these steps up and you can catch these guys on offside, but like it's just not gonna work. Like you're gonna get called. There's gonna be a wrong decision once or twice a game, and then there's 3 guys in front of the goal, like 20 meters, and no defense ahead of them.
So what do we think is going to happen? Like, do we have faith? Like, is there faith that Cowher is now facing technically worse opposition and that they're going to pull through this one? I don't know. I mean,
it's if you look at the games, they have a lot of away games. So they start up against Kawa away, and I don't think you can really expect them to win that game. So they're probably going to lose that game. Then they go to Ia away, and I mean Ia, in the manager's words, have a fuck you attitude right now. So they're just going all out on something, and I don't know, it's working at the moment. So in theory, that could end badly. That's a toss-up, I think. Then you have Afturling at home, which they need to win. That's just like, if they don't win that, I think they're relegated, because then they have IPVAF at home, I guess you have to kind of hope that IPVAF are just bored and they have nothing to play for. But they don't seem like that sort of team. And then you have Vestri away on the final day. And
it's kind of
aren't safe either. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's kind of worked out about as bad as it could have done for them in terms of how much traveling they have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose they're fortunate that ER and EBVAF haven't been swapped, otherwise they literally got the longest journeys possible.
Yeah, and it's not good away games either. It's I guess at least they're away, like at home against Afturling, and Afturling cannot play away.
Yeah, it's been like the story of the season there.
But I mean, neither can Coward. Coward have 1 win away.
Yeah, Picard also can't play at home, so
Well, they have 5 wins at home, so that's
it's significantly better, but
it does look concerning. But I think maybe it's a positive that we're finally getting Oscar taking some accountability and maybe looking at himself.
yeah, but if that means like, oh, I'm gonna go play Vikingur, I'm gonna try this new system, or I'm gonna try to bomb everyone forward and put non-wing backs as wing backs, and accountability is good, but like, bro, I don't know, like it can't just be just sort of, you know, accountability in a vacuum. It has to be something. Like it's been all season that it's just been a non-existent defense. And if you're going to address it, then at least like address it. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, enough talk about Coward. We're being biased. We can talk about another team that's bad, Breiðablik. It's not me saying that they're bad, but the talk of the town. There's even news about this. How do we feel about Breiðablik?
I don't know. I feel like I try to be sort of, as the season goes along, I've tried to be a bit more generous to them but I've never seen it. I've never seen Haldor's Breiðablik team. I've always felt, I don't know, maybe I'm being too, maybe there's something I just don't see or something. It just always feels like the good parts of Breiðablik were left of what Oscar had made, and then you have Höskuldur, and then, you know, they have objectively a good team because they have a lot of money. But I've never seen this team be anything good other than they've just objectively have more expensive players than other teams. And I think it's showing now. I mean, they haven't won since July, basically since we recorded last. So maybe we shouldn't publish this episode. So I guess they're going to win again.
They're on currently the second longest winless streak in the league. The only other one above them is after Elding.
Very good.
I think they're 7 games without a win now. And after Elding are 10 games without a win, and they're both active streaks.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's the problem there? You think it's the manager?
I think it is. I don't, because I mean they have an objectively good squad. I mean that front 3 of Olivalur and Valgeir, and with, you know, Tobias Thompson and all these guys up front, they should be outscoring most teams. And I mean they have 37 goals. That's yeah. I guess it's less than Coward, but like it's less than the top 3 above them. It's less than FV, and I mean FV aren't exactly. I mean they score. I guess they. Yeah, I mean they've conceded as much as FV, and they've scored 4 goals less than FV. They have an insane team, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's the manager who's now been given a new contract, and everyone's upset because apparently nobody knew about it. Like the sporting director Alfred Finnbogason didn't know about it, or like wasn't involved in the decision. Yeah, and it was just some part of Breiðablik made the decision. I don't know. It's yeah.
Interesting. I mean, who's pulling the trigger on this sort of thing if not sporting director and people? It's just some dude.
Maybe it's Dory himself, handing himself
Yeah.
the contract and signing it.
He just like, oh, I got the contract. Look, it's signed and everything. And he just like, everyone's like, oh yeah, that looks legit. Okay, cool.
I don't know, Jamie. Am I being unfair?
I don't know. It's strange. Like they've done so well to reach I was about to say group stage of Europe, but the league stage of Europe again.
Yeah, but like, I mean, who did they win? They beat. Oh yeah, they had one good game against Ignatia, the Albanians. Right, Albanians. Right. I'm not being problematic. And then they beat the team from San Marino. That's basically what they did. That's yeah.
True, but like there's still, I don't know. It's strange that they can do that in the European competition and then come home and like, I know we've got a lot of games in a short space of time for them, that excuse to pull out, but they've had a couple of weeks now, and yeah, I suppose they had 2 games back to back, but those were 2 winnable games that they've just gone through in the last round and a half, I suppose, and they just looked predictable.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched the last bit of last half an hour or whatever of the game against IBF, and I mean IBF were fighting because they wanted to get top half, but I mean, it looked like IBF were the only ones fighting. It looked like Breiðablik were pretty happy with that draw, which is ridiculous because they're 6 points behind, second place. They're 8 points behind Víkingur. 15 points left to play for. Like they can't win the league. There's no way. They might not even get Europe, and they just sort of seemed very. I don't know. There was not like IBF were the team fighting for the win. It seemed like I don't know. Maybe I'm being super ungrateful.
I can't see what the goal is for them at the moment. Whether they're trying to save themselves to try and one up what Vikingur did in Europe last season. But I mean, the way they're going, I don't think they're going to be in with a chance of getting a European spot next year now. I think that's beyond them at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're 6 points behind Valur and Stjarnan, and I don't know, maybe unless Valur just continue this crash and completely just self-destruct, then no, I don't really see how they're going to get. I mean, they shouldn't catch up with Stjarnan. You wouldn't think.
I mean, Pell, that 6% of our listener question responders who said that Breiðablik are winning the league versus the 0% who voted for Valur. What is going on there? Who are these people?
Alter again.
Yes, of course we're winning. It's apparently easier for Breiðablik to make up these 8 points, sorry, math, than Valur the 2. But I don't know. I mean, 31% picked Stjarnan. How do we feel about that?
I back it. I think they're my pick at the moment.
Yeah? Over Víkingur?
I think so. Maybe it's sticking my neck on the line a little bit, but I just fancy them. I can't put my finger on why. Just everything seems to be clicking quite well for them at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they looked good against Valur. They have. I found it. I mean, this is my coward hat speaking, but I found it objectively hilarious that Ante Rúnar scored that, is scoring against Valur when he was basically thrown on the trash heap by Valur, 2 years ago, 3 years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
End of 2023, so.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, shipped off to the boondocks of Ísafjörður because he was completely done and had nothing left in him. And 2 seasons later, he is the second highest goal scorer in the league and is pushing them towards a title win. And Valur couldn't use him.
The grand irony. So you back then, Tryggvi. Who are you backing for the title?
I still think it's Víkingur. I don't know. I think if they had anything else, if they had like Europe or something to contend with, I'm not sure they have the gas left in them. But I think if it's just the league, I think it's such a stacked team, and they're getting people back from injuries now, and I don't know. I think Stjarnan still have a little bit of vulnerability that I'm not sure they can keep up for the next 5 games, but I don't know. I don't think Víkingur are perfect. I mean, we saw them against Brøndby a few weeks ago.
That was a ridiculous game. Like based on the first half minus the last 30 seconds or whatever, then Víkingur should have won that game.
Yeah. I mean, Brøndby were terrible in the first half.
They were so bad, and they had they just had no head. They were they had no discipline, and the crowd as well were just were hyping them up to just be kind of ridiculous. And it just looked like they were going to crash and burn. And then I think the referee got a little bit intimidated by the crowd and gave him this free kick there at the end, which completely turned everything around. And then whatever happened in the dressing room at halftime. But it was disappointing to see if he can get fold like that. It's not what you expected.
I think this is why I'm leaning towards Stjarnan. They're not perfect, and they've still got a bit of development to go and maybe shoring themselves up a bit at the back. But I think Víkingur are just liable to a capitulation every now and then, and that unpredictability. So even without Europe, they do have that going in their favour. But I think if I remember correctly, fixtures work out kind of favourably for Stjarnan as well in terms of who they play at home and when. So I am leaning towards Garðabær.
Okay.
Yeah, they're playing FO at home, and then Víkingur at home, and Valor away. So that's, I mean, those 3 games, they need to have 9 points out of those first 3. And then they have Fram away, who I guess, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fram aren't going to go into Europe, so their season will be over at that point, and then Breiðablik at home probably will be dead in the water as well. So yeah, if they get 9 points out of the first three games, then maybe then I think they're favorites for sure.
It'll be interesting. I really don't know how I feel about this whole split malarkey. I call it malarkey, and it's clear that I feel some kind of way about this split malarkey. Like, you have these 6 teams here, and only really 3 of them have anything to play for. And it's just, I don't know, I just don't really love it. Like, you have Víkingur, Valur, and Stjarnan, who are there sort of duking it up for the title, and then I don't know, the other ones are liable to just sort of rock up on the day and be whatever. I don't know. I just feel like it ruins the sort of sporting integrity of it maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing you see in a larger league of 24 teams towards the end of the season, isn't it? But if you just stick to the regular season here of 22 games, you don't get that so much. I mean, we've seen that maybe we'd have had 2 or 3 teams that would have been on the beach this year if we'd have ended at round 22. But by sort of 2-3 weeks into this, you could well have 6 that are just nothing to play for.
I mean, I think you have at least 5, right? You have, I mean, the bottom half, IBVF and Kawa are not going to get dragged into this. Unless they completely, like, unless they, like, I mean, IBVF, if they lose the first 3 games, then maybe, but, like, Kawa shouldn't. And then in the top, I mean, Vestre is debatable what way they're going. And then the top, yeah, exactly, like, FO, Fram aren't going into Europe. Breiðablik, almost definitely not. I mean, after the first, I guess they'll know after the first round against Valur whether if they're going to catch up with them. So we have at least 4, if not 5, from the get-go who have basically nothing to play for.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but it is the way that it is. Who are our picks for actual relegation?
As we look at it at the moment, I think EA have found a bit of fight and some form, and their attitude at the right time. I think they might just make it out of it. I'm leaning to, after Elding, I think, have a mountain to climb of their own making with 10 games without a win, and I can't see whether they're going to break that at the moment. And I worry for Kawa. I'm leaning after Elding and Kawa at the moment.
The thing is that whenever we speak nicely about EA on this podcast, they become dreadful. So the fact that you've sort of hyped them up a little bit now, you've kind of put the nail in their coffin.
That's true. But I mean, I was going back through old ones, and you spent so long praising Vestre at the start of the season. I've got to return the favor to someone.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. I've ruined it all for Vestre. I'm sorry. I apologize to the town of Ísafjörður.
Yeah, I think after Elding is down, unless they can, like, the only way is that they basically need 6 points from the first 2 games, which is away at IBVF and at home against Kawa. If they can get 6 points out of that, then, or at least, like, you know, somehow a miracle win against IBVF, and then get the town or the whatever they call themselves, get that going, get the atmosphere up, then maybe. But barring that, I think they're down. And I don't know. I think EA they should be down, to be honest, but they just have a few people in there that are pulling them up, like Viktor Jonsson. I mean, Omar Björnsson had a really good game this weekend. Is seemingly peaking as well, and then Arne Marano at the back seems to be getting some form again. So, like, they have, like, this spine of people that seem to be pulling them along, and I'm not super sure where the spine in Kawet is. So I don't know. I don't want to say Kawet because that's. But there's a big risk, I think.
I think in a sort of, if I was a different human, I would probably have the same prediction as Jamie, but it's very difficult to say that. I just don't see this Kawa team doing anything ever. I don't know. I really don't have so much faith.
But it's, I don't want to get into a whole Kawa thing again, but, like, I'll just, like, very quickly, like, there's a lot of discourse in the media. I mean, when I say the media, in the loosest terms, and for the people that I'm talking about, they talk about how, you know, oh, this team is just terrible. This is a group of players that shouldn't be, you know, they deserve to be in the first division. And I mean, yeah, you can make that argument for a few of them, like for a handful of them. But like, I was talking with I think with our dad before the game against Víkingur, and like, yeah, Eiður was missing, but you have up front, you have Aron Sig, you have Galdur, you have Amin. I mean, just those three, if you set them up in the right way, just have those three like in the same area running and passing and like add a defense. I think those three can get past any defense, basically. If you have them shoot and if you have them combine, there aren't that many defenses that can stop that. But it's just so like, I don't think this is like a team like, oh, there's nothing in this team that can, but it's just, yeah, I agree with both of you. There's nothing in this team that they're not showing it what they can. So like, I don't know if they can somehow find a formula. I think they can easily like blow through this and, you know, finish top of in the President's Cup or whatever. But it's just, yeah, they're running very much out of time.
Well, we saw the response last season when this happened and how well they recovered in the split. And I mean, I think it sounds like a bit of a cop-out to get out of predicting now before the split happens, but I think we'll get a much better idea on how they respond to this 7-0 loss in the first game of the split, because if they just collapse in on themselves because of that, I mean, it's frankly embarrassing performance and result, then they're done for, I think. But if they can use that as a, right, this doesn't happen again, and kick on from here, I think they have the ability, like you say, to be fine and get out of it. But it's just what kind of reaction we see from them.
Yeah, and it's also what sort of reaction we get from the other teams. Because I mean, as far as I remember, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, Kawa basically took every foot off every gas pedal after the split because they didn't have to do anything. And I mean, we've seen their attitude. I don't want to dig in on Kawa too much, but like, when they focus on a certain thing, they get it done. But when they don't have a target, they are completely like headless chickens and have like zero motivation. So like, there is a world where they just completely go on the beach. I don't know if there's much of a beach in Akureyri, but go whale watching or something.
They have to be awake to a certain extent because it's very easy to put them in this them and Lemony in they're fine. They're out of it. But if they kick on for this first game at least, 3 points to Kawa makes a very different story for them. And there is a chance that they could get sucked back into it. I mean, yes, there's going to be two teams that are worse than them, probably. But they're not completely home and hosed yet.
Is Vestri safe?
I'm looking over my shoulder a little bit. Let's put it that way. I think these first two games, the two home games, I mean, in terms of positioning and the fixtures, I think finishing ninth has worked out quite well in how they fall. Getting two home games to start the split on paper should get the job done, but it's not looking like a great time to face EA with how they played this past week. So I'm, cautiously, slightly optimistic, but also glancing over my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If Coward are in such a relegation fight, then it's difficult to say that Vestri are safe. I mean, they're only 3 points ahead, and their form isn't great. I don't know. I think it's those four teams there, realistically, where anything could happen.
The worry is absolutely the form since the cup final. It's been a very extended hangover, which, like, no blame there at all, but it's maybe time to cut that now.
Yeah, pick up at least 3 points and then take a deep breath.
Yeah, I'm looking at these first two home games, and from a biased and fan point of view, I'm targeting 4 points, and no matter how they come, if 4 points come, I think I'll be much more relaxed.
Yeah, because it's always the thing with relegation battles. You always think like, oh, you know, there's 15 points for the taking, and you know, you're 7 points behind a certain team. Like, oh, the ER only 7 points behind Kawa. But I mean, these are teams that I know they're facing sort of worse opposition, but like, these are teams that have only 5, 7, 6, 8. Could have said that a bit better, but like wins of the entire season. So like to go and think they're gonna win the next 5 games, like these aren't teams that are good at winning, is what I'm saying. So it's not like that. It's not like these are teams that are all of a sudden gonna pick up 9 points. Yeah, so
No,
it's
but they
also
are all playing each other, so
yeah. I think there could be a lot of draws in this thing, but yeah, I don't know.
To use the old cliche, every game is a 6-pointer now.
Mhm. Any other sort of talking points that we've missed for the stage of the season? I think we've covered most teams in a cursory way, except the teams that like Fram, like they kind of don't exist for all intents and purposes at the moment, and FO basically as well. They're just sort of there. Cool.
It's job done for those guys now, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Fram, we were discussing it at the start of the season which side of the split they would fall on. I think I predicted them top half. I'm going to decide that I did that. So well done, past me, calling that one. They are the sort of team that like can just grind out what they need and perhaps no more.
But also depending on how they go into this, I think they could maybe upset the title race a little bit if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a group of bastards a little bit that don't. They're not on. I think I would more predict FO to go on vacation now than Fram. I think Fram want to upset a little bit. I think Fram would love to beat, Valor and Vikingur and all these teams. I think they're definitely gonna have a voice in this title race for sure. But yeah, no, it's very well done. I mean they have a good team as well. To be honest, I think definitely top 3, maybe even the best goalkeeper this season. Victor Freyr, I think he's been amazing.
I've been very, very impressed with Tippling all season as well.
Yeah, he's signed a new deal as well, so that's huge for them. I just want to call out as well the IPVF goalkeeper who I don't think gets talked about enough and gets talked about enough well. I think he's been like quite good. Every time I see him, Marcel Sabitovsky, and he pulled off like an insane save against Breiðablik. Like a lot of people were talking about Antonare in that game, but like it was like a showing my age, Seaman-esque save there. And I think he's talking a little bit about IPVF. I'm gonna toot my horn a little bit. I remember after the first round, I was talking of the 2 promoted teams, and I thought, okay, I remember saying, or I remember this, I might have not said this, but I remember me saying, I think IPVF are going to be okay. By the way, they were sort of running around and they were really teasing. I don't remember who they were playing. They were playing a pretty decent team, and they might have lost, but I thought they looked quite interesting. And I mean, but fair play to that whole team because they've been called as certainties for relegation with all the injuries and things they've had. But yeah, I just want to call them out a little bit because I think that's probably the team of the season.
Let me see there.
Manager of the season, I think, is definitely up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they've just sort of quietly gone about their business when everyone else has been shouting about them going the wrong way, and they've just got on with it, heads down, and fair play to them.
I mean, they have almost the exact same goal difference as Vestre, but 1 more goal. They've scored 1 more goal, but them and Vestre have conceded. Oh no, Viking have conceded 1 goal less. But yeah, the team leading the pack, and then IPVF and Vestre have conceded the fewest goals.
But we've talked about this before, the sort of the narrative arc influencing your judgment of the teams. Like we say that IPVF may be team of the season, manager of the season. Their performance is almost identical to Vestre, but because Vestre had this like high peak in the beginning and then crashed, then they're terrible.
No, I mean, I think
funny. And
Vestre
like Valur and Vikingur so close as well, and Valur are awful. And Vikingur, Stjarnan especially, Stjarnan and Valur same number of points. Stjarnan are awesome, Valur are terrible.
Oh, you're right. But I think Tuva deserves a lot of credit for Valur. I think with another manager, Valur would have been in and around Breiðablik or FO or something. I think he's done a really good job with very. I mean, it's a very expensive team. I mean, everyone's talking about, they lost Patrick Pedersen and Fredrik Skram now for injuries, and yeah, those are huge losses. But you look at the starting lineup; it's an insane. It's still the most expensive team in the league, maybe. Even without those two guys, so he definitely has stuff to work with. But I think he's done a really good job managing that cluster something up in relegated.
Yeah, that could have gone significantly worse. I agree. Very much agreed.
Yeah, I think maybe we call it Thor promoted to the first to the best then. So we'll get an Akureyri derby next year. So that'll be good.
Unless Kawa some
I mean, that would be objectively hilarious.
maybe there's some sort of I don't know, intrinsic universal maximum capacity for an Akureyri team in the top division. So they must be relegated now.
Too many for the quota, got to boot one out.
But what's interesting is that Selfoss have been relegated, which you wouldn't have expected, having brought home their little hero for this season, and then he sees them relegated. It's upsetting.
Yeah, they've been slowly or I don't know how slowly, but they've been going downward trajectory for a bit now. It's
yeah, but I'm just upsetting for Jonta to come home from abroad back to his childhood team and to see them relegated. I don't know. It's not what they were hoping for when they had their little party when they signed him.
he scored I was just saying he scored a few goals, so he's tried. It's not like he just came there to make up the numbers.
No.
Weren't most of them penalties? That seems to be what I
don't ruin this, Jamie.
Yeah, Jesus. Man's already down. They'll be kicking him here.
Yeah,
national treasure or something.
It does leave you wondering what's next for him, because I know he signed a couple of year contract, but is he going to play in the second division?
I mean, that's a good question. He's 33 according to my totally non-Googling. This is off the top of my head.
I don't know. He was older than that.
Yeah, he's younger than I am. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants to play for Selfoss and just, live a quiet family life. But maybe he'll sign for Valur on huge wages. Guess we'll find out.
At halftime, Njarðvík, or second half now, Njarðvík is leading Keflavík 2-0. That's nothing against Keflavík, so this is not to go against Keflavík. I just really want Njarðvík to go up. I think they're super interesting. When they played in the cup, they looked really cool. They lost out against Stjarnan, right? On penalties or something, or late goal or something late. They put up quite a good fight against Stjarnan. So I would like to see them up. Again, nothing against Keflavík. But yeah. And then
agreed. Yeah, so we'll see how these things all play out. Are we gonna do the players of the round for round 22? We sort of went over round 22. You guys can piece together what happened. There was an automatic inclusion. Valdimar Thor for Víkingur for 3 goals. Is 3 goals the automatic? I thought 4 goals was the automatic inclusion. Is it 3? You can't be every hat trick giving people a star. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's maybe true. Maybe that's we can strike him off the list.
Yeah, get out of here.
Well, I mean, we've only had 2 hat tricks all season, so maybe that should be the baseline.
Maybe that's just a sign for these guys to step up their game. 2 hat tricks in a season, that's insane. That's dreadful. Come on, guys. Lace up your boots. Take more penalties. Come on. Stat pad, boys and girls. Stat pad. Fine, we can say 3. I mean, 3 goals was, I think the agreement was 3 goals is an automatic consideration. 4 goals is an automatic inclusion. But I guess everyone gets an automatic consideration every week. So it's not much of a bonus. But in any case, Valdimar Thor, you can have your little star if you want it. Come by and collect it. And then another star, Omar Björn for Ia.
2 goals, and like I said, we talked about hitting form at the right time. He scored the other day as well against Breiðablik, I think. Or
he's had a very good week. And I mean, just checking out some of the highlights, he could have had a lot more than 2 goals in some of those games.
And then, the last. Do you want to have the last one, Jamie?
Sure. Bjarni Gudbjorn at FH. I mean, he's been in and out of the team the last few weeks, I think, while we've been on holiday. So I think it was kind of in a game that looked like it was always going to be a draw before it even kicked off. He came out with a point to prove with a goal and assist. So maybe stake to claim for a starting berth for the split now.
Yeah, those are our stars. We went over the listener questions briefly as to who's winning the league. 6% calling it for Breiðablik, 0% for Valur, 31% Stjarnan, and Víkingur 63%. The sheep, going for Víkingur. You heard it here first. Apparently Stjarnan are winning the league, or Breiðablik. And finishing bottom, we had most votes for Ía rather than Afturelding, weirdly enough. Was this before these sort of 2 games, or?
I think it was the same day. So I think some people could have gone back and voted for Afturelding, but maybe that's where the 30% came from. I don't know. I think it was same day as the game.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Afturelding still got 32% of the votes. Cowwood got 21% for finishing bottom, but Vestri 5%. Who are these 5 and 6% voting Vestri to go down, like to be bottom, and Breiðablik to win the league? Some absolute maniac on the votes there.
It's just going.
Yeah, he just has personal beef with Vestri and just trying to hype up Breiðablik. Yeah, Halldór, you need to get off the internet and start motivating your squad, bro. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's that for now, right? The games are coming up on Saturday and Sunday. There's one game on Saturday, Vestri Ía, and then we have a bunch of games on Sunday, one game on Monday. So IPF Afturelding on Sunday, KR, Víkingur Fram, Stjarnan FH, and then we have Valur Breiðablik, an absolute sort of 6-pointer in some capacity on the Monday. We will be back after that round, surely. Now that things have gotten interesting, the boys are back. Absolutely, we can't let if we don't make more episodes, then Breiðablik will just keep their free fall up. We gotta help Halldór out. He's spiraling. Oh God. So don't worry, Halldór. We got you. We'll be back. We'll be back after the weekend with Tryggvi and
Jamie.
God willing, with Jamie.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So until then, I don't know. Do I have a catchphrase? I don't. Get them balls to your feet. Something. And kick them hard.
Bye.
Okay, bye.